Hi, I'm Rhonda Armistead. Welcome to my studio. This is where the students come, out the back here, and fling lots of paint around and make a mess. So I'm going to make a series of little tutorials on the things that I teach them to help them along their path, and I hope it helps you too. We're in Lismore in Wyrella Road in the back of Armistead's Quality Picture Framing and Gallery. So enjoy the tutorials, I hope they help. Let's go! Let's look at a really versatile palette for both portraits and landscapes. If you're just beginning, this is a really handy palette to have. You've got your three primary colours, yellow, blue and red. They're your primaries. And we're going to mix in a little bit of purple and white, and we'll do tints and shades. A lot of times when people are starting out, they think that to make any of these colours darker, you have to add black. That just makes the colours really muddy. So we're going to look at the colour wheel just for a second. And if you want to make your red darker, you go to the opposite side and you add in a little green. If you want to make your purple darker, you go the opposite side, add in a little yellow, and vice versa. And same with orange and blue. So you can grey down your colours just by using the colour that sits opposite on the colour wheel. Okay, we're going to start with this. This is called the Ochre Palette. So we'll take a good amount of yellow because this is the base of our palette, and we're going to add in a little bit of purple, which sits on the opposite side of the colour wheel, so that will grey down my yellow. So it's a good idea just to add that in a little bit at a time. And you can see how it's taking the light out of the paint, and the paint's becoming less vibrant, nice and soft. So I'll just mix a little bit more of that because this is the base to the palette. So there we have our greyed down yellow, and that then becomes a yellow ochre. So if you're doing an Australian landscape, you've got that beautiful outback red, you just bring a little bit of these colours out. Put a few blobs down. So into that we can add some of the red, which will give us that gorgeous outback red. So this is then a red ochre. And we'll also add in some blue into our next blob. That'll give us those gorgeous outback greens. And then into this one, we're actually going to add quite a bit of purple. So that'll give us a really nice browny colour. I'll just put a little bit more yellow in that. It'll give us a lovely brown. If it's not quite warm enough, you can always add a little bit of the red into that. I'll just do a little slide of that so you can see how gorgeous that colour is. So they're our basic colours for our outback landscape. So if you're thinking about portraiture, you can also work with tints of these colours. So if we bring a little bit of this colour down again, our greens, and our warm purpley brown, we can then add some white into those. So this is a tint. And when we mix them together, you can see that they start to form really lovely flesh tones. And there's always a little bit of greens in flesh. If you don't have the green in the flesh somewhere, I like to put it in the cool shadows. If you don't have a little bit of green in there, it can look a bit Estee Lauder. Not that there's anything wrong with Estee Lauder, but we don't want our portraits to look unnatural. So there's some really good colours for our portraits. So we've got our landscape colours through the middle, and then we've got our portrait colours along the bottom, and elements of these can go into each other. I'll put some examples up after this tutorial so you can see the use of the different colours in both portraits and landscapes. So that pretty much covers it. Any of these colours, of course, you can darken down, or if you want to take the light out of them, you can make shades. So this is your base colours, these are your tints, and these are your shades. So if we want an even darker version of that, we could pop a little bit of blue into it, and that's going to make quite a warm, even deeper orange. And then we can blue off the greens a little bit. And we can lighten that one just a little bit too. So you can see how all those colours sit beautifully together on the palette. If the colours work on your palette, they'll work on your canvas. If they don't work on your palette, then they're probably not going to work on your canvas. So because everything's come out of this one base, bringing this yellow across and then bringing those colours up and down, you know that you're going to get a lovely harmonious balance in your painting. I just noticed I didn't do that yellow. Here you go. There you go, beautiful. So there you have it. I hope that helps you with your colour mixing.